can take a moment here to settle down onto your mat, lowering onto your back and finding your Shavasana. And take up as much space as you have available around you by sending your feet and arms wide at your sides. Let the palms face up and tuck the shoulder blades beneath you. Release all tension from the neck as the head grows heavy on the mat. You can keep the eyes opened or closed, whichever you choose. Let the gaze be soft. Begin directing the breath in and out through your nose. Just let the breath become your anchor. When your mind, your thoughts start to wander, start to dance off into the distance, return the focus to the breath, following its rhythm as it moves in and out through your nose, and how each breath affects your body. That gentle rise and fall of belly and chest. Each breath in creating a sense of openness, spaciousness through the body. With each slow breath out, feeling the body grow heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into your mat. Really grounding you here in this space, in this moment of time. With the arms and legs still heavy at your sides, start to turn your gaze over the right shoulder, bringing the right ear down towards the mat. Just opening up through the left side of your neck here. Keep the left shoulder resting on the floor. Play with the height of your chin, maybe drawing it in a little bit closer, a little bit further from the right shoulder. Just noticing how it feels in your neck and finding a spot that feels good to you. Bring your gaze back through center, and then over to the left. As you rest the left ear on the mat, see if you can keep your focus on the breath. Continue to watch the belly rise and fall. Bring the gaze back through center. Find stillness there. Begin to wake the rest of your body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Taking gentle rotations to the wrists and the ankles in both directions. Slide your feet together at the bottom of the mat and start to bend through the knees. Bring the soles of the feet first onto the floor, and then let the soles of the feet come to touch. The knees fall open like a book, creating a diamond shape with your legs. Keep your arms resting at your sides, palms facing up with the shoulder blades tucked beneath you. Let the legs just grow heavy, releasing all effort. We're not flexing the muscles, we're not trying to force the knees down. Just letting the legs grow heavy naturally, surrendering to gravity as the soles of the feet support one another. The right foot just as it is. Start to bring the left knee up through center. Bring the sole of the left foot onto the floor. The right foot will open up and resting on the floor. From here, start to slowly tip the left foot, the left knee, over on top of the right for a little bit of a twist. The gaze can stay up towards the ceiling, or you can gently turn the left ear to the left side of the room. Bring the gaze back through center. Sole of the left foot comes back onto the floor, opening the knees up. And then tip the left knee over to the left, returning to that diamond shape, that cobbler's pose with the legs. Sole of the right foot finds the floor, bringing the right knee first through center. Let the left leg ground itself on the mat. And then gently guide the right knee over top of the left. Gaze to the right. Just a very mild twist here. You can always place a pillow or block beneath the knees to support them. Gaze comes back through center. The right knee will follow first. Right knee opens up to the right. Bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. And then left knee comes over to meet the right. Gaze is at the ceiling or over to the left. Gaze comes back through ceiling. Left foot finds the floor. Left knee opens up. Right foot finds the floor. And right knee lands on left. Just coming back into our twist, turn the gaze to the right. Just moving slowly and mindfully through each of these cycles. One last round. So right knee and gaze comes back through ceiling. Open the right knee up. Move the diamond shape with the legs, and then bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. Left knee tips over the right as the gaze turns left. Full cycle of breath before moving to the opposite side. Gaze comes center, left knee comes center. Left knee opens up. Right foot finds the floor. And right knee tips on top of left, gaze turns right. Full round of breath. Let it go. Come back through center with the gaze, the right knee. Let the right knee open up, soles of the feet touch. And just pausing here in the center. Finding stillness. Following the breath. the right leg just as it is, bring the left knee through center once again. So the right leg is still opened up, knee is bent. With the right leg maybe resting on the floor here, draw the left knee in towards your chest this time. Interlacing your finger around the knee, the shin, or the thigh, whatever is accessible. We're just looking for a bit of a stretch into the right hip area. So depending on how open you are, you may already be feeling a stretch here. Stay just as you are. If you're not quite feeling a stretch, you can start to heel toe the right heel towards the outer edge of the left hip. Bringing the right knee in line with the rest of your body, creating a straight line up the right thigh and the spine. Reaching the right knee away from the top of your head, pressing it down into the mat. Continue to draw the left knee in towards your chest. Maybe you can start to guide it over towards the left a little bit, beyond the left shoulder. As long as you can do so without really lifting the right knee up off of the mat. Want to keep that grounded feeling through the right leg, the right hip, the entire right side body. Just noticing where it is in the right thigh, the right hip, that you're feeling a stretch. And sending your breath to that area. Each breath in creating a little bit of space, and each breath out releasing any tension that may be developed there. You can place the right hand on the right hip or the right thigh, encouraging stillness in that area. Start to take circles with the left knee. Just moving slowly, mindfully. Circling the opposite direction. Pausing in the center with the left knee drawn in. One more big breath here. And then slowly release the right leg long to the bottom of your mat. However that looks in your body, just extending the right leg long, reaching through the right heel, draw the left knee in towards your chest when you're leaving pose. Stay active through the right leg with the toes pointing towards the ceiling and drawn towards your face. The left ankle can release, being soft. Draw the right knee in towards your chest, give it a hug with the left. Draw the knees in this time so much so that the tailbone and the pelvis start to lift up off of the mat. Hug the knees in as close as you're able. And then from there start to press your low back into the mat. Lengthening the spine while maintaining as much of that hugged in position as you can. You really want to focus on the length of the spine here. At the same time drawing the knees in towards your chest. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side. Massaging the low back. And then find stillness in the center. Lower the soles of the feet to the floor. The soles of the feet come to touch, knees fall open, creating that diamond shape with the legs. Just release your arms at your side. right leg just as it is, or rather keep the left leg just as it is. Bring the sole of the right foot to the floor. And then draw the right knee in towards the chest. Left leg stays in that cobbler's pose position, that diamond-shaped leg. The left leg reaching down towards the mat, the bend in the knee. Start to draw the right knee in close towards your chest. Equal weight on both left and right hips here. If you're feeling a stretch into the left inner thigh or the left hip, stay just as you are. Or you can start to walk your left heel towards the outer edge of the right hip, pausing when you feel a stretch. Left knee continues to reach down towards the mat, pressing into the earth as you draw the right knee in. Maybe you stay here with the right knee in the center, or maybe you start to reach it over to the outer side of the right shoulder, creating distance between your two knees. Stay here in stillness, or you can place the left hand on the left inner thigh, left hip area, encouraging stillness in that point. And then start to take gentle rotations through the right knee. Just pausing in any areas of tension, offering it a breath before moving on. Rotating the opposite direction. Find some stillness. And with the right knee hugged in at the center, take one more big breath here. And then on the exhale, extend your left leg long to the bottom of the mat. Stay active through the left leg. Each breath in, creating length from the left heel to the crown of your head. Each breath out draws the right knee in a little bit closer. Bring the left knee in to meet the right. Hug the knees in close. Soles of the feet find the floor. And press down to the feet, lift the hips up, shift them slightly to the left and lower them down. Draw the right knees in towards your chest and allow the knees to find their way over to the right. Arms extend wide at your sides, grounding down through the left shoulder. Option to keep the gaze up at the ceiling or turn it over to the left. So a few options for your props here. You can always place a block or a pillow beneath the knees for some support to fill any gap beneath them. Or you can place one between the knees if you have low back sensitivity. Filling your body with breath and bringing out any tension with each breath out. Sinking a little bit deeper into your twist as the breath leaves your body. Gaze back through center. Let the knees find center as well. Lower the feet onto the mat, lift the hips up, give them a shake from side to side, just neutralizing the spine. From your center point, just shift the hips over slightly to the right and lower them down. Knees draw in, and then over to the left. Decide on this side if you'd like to keep the gaze at the ceiling or over to the right, and support yourself with whatever props you like. Bring your gaze through center. Knees will follow. Place the feet on the floor, lift the hips up, give them a sway from side to side to neutralize, and lower them down. Reach your right arm up overhead and roll over onto your right side body, drawing the knees in close towards your chest to round through the spine. Invite space into the back body now that it's lifted up off of the mat. And when you feel ready in your own time, just find your way up to a tabletop. Landing in your tabletop with the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. We'll move through a few cat and cows. So on an inhale, lift the tailbone, let your belly drop. Heart comes forward, gaze comes up. On an exhale, tuck the tailbone beneath you, round through the spine, sending your belly button towards the ceiling as you gaze down towards it. Inhale, cow pose, lift the tailbone, belly drops, heart comes forward, gaze comes up. On an exhale, rounded spine, tuck the tailbone, chin to your chest as you gaze to the belly button. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. And stay with that same movement, or as you exhale, round the spine, send your hips back towards your heels, fingertips reach forward for a rounded back child's pose. Release the forearms onto the mat. With the inhale, glide forward, grazing your chin and chest across the mat. Press through your palms up into your cow. Exhale, rounded cat-like back, hips to heels. Inhale, relax the arms, let your heart and chin graze the mat. Press up into your cow. One more just like that. For a moment, find a neutral spine. So you can stay with either of those two variations, but we're just going to add on to it a little bit further. Keep the hips stacked above the knees. We're going to start to bend through the elbows. Let them graze your ribs as you lower the heart and the chin down onto the mat. 8-point pose. So consider the 8 points: your chin, your chest, the hands, the knees, the feet. From there, extend the legs long behind you. Shoelace side of the feet finds the mat. Lengthen through the spine as you inhale, lengthen and lift into a cobra pose. So pressing down through the feet here, reaching through the big toes. Elbows are drawn in towards the ribs and back towards your heels, staying open through the chest and collarbones. Find length in the low back here, reaching your heart forward and then up. Slowly lower down onto the mat. Press through the palms. Come up through tabletop into a child's pose. So if that's not working for you, you can always just stay moving through cat and cow positions. You're just staying in a tabletop, swaying from side to side, finding natural movement through the spine. Otherwise, we're going to follow the inhale as we rise back up to tabletop. Bend at the elbows. Keep the tailbone lifted as you lower the heart and chin onto the mat. Slide the feet behind you. Press down to the feet, lengthen and lift, cobra pose. Lower with control. And come up through tabletop. Find a child's pose. Full breath here. Let it go. Ride the inhale up through table. Hips stay lifted, heart and chin lower to the mat. Extend your legs long. Lengthen through the spine, lift up cobra. Lower back down. Come through tabletop. And land in a child's pose. Option to keep the knees narrow here or send them a little bit wider to the edges of your mat. Hips sink back into your heels. Land in your child's pose. One big breath here. And find your way up to a tabletop. Gentle sway from side to side. Letting the head grow heavy. And find stillness in your tabletop. We're going to step the right foot back behind us. Tuck the toes and let your right foot land on the floor. Toes tucked beneath the heel. Start to send your weight back into the right heel as if you're trying to step it down onto the mat. Finding a bit of a stretch up the back of your right calf. Just playing with the weight in the big toe mound or the pinky toe mound of your feet. And finding where you feel the stretch the most. Shift your weight forward until the heel stacks above the right toes again. We're going to pivot on the right foot, pointing the toes of the right foot towards the right side of the room. Lift your left foot up and pivot that behind you for a bit of a kickstand. Reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling for a supported, modified side plank. So the right leg is acting like a little bit of a kickstand here. Reaching the right hips, the right waist up towards the ceiling as you stack the shoulders on top of one another. Draw your belly button in towards the spine. We're going to start to bend through the right knee as you rise back up. Turn the toes of the right foot to face the end of your mat, so away from the left leg. Right arm comes to the inside of the right leg, left fingertips reach up high for a modified side angle pose. So try to keep your heart open to the room in front of you. Bending deep into the right knee, lunging into it. Left leg still behind you for a kickstand. move through a few more of those rotations. So we're going to lower the left hand onto the mat. Reach the right fingertips high. Straighten the right leg. Toes point towards the long edge of the mat and press down through the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Shoulders stacked above one another. Chest and heart stay open to the room in front of you. So we aren't guiding the right shoulder down towards the mat here. We're staying nice and open. Start to bend through the right knee to allow yourself to rise up. Toes point towards the end of your mat. Right arm to the inside of the right thigh or right knee. Left fingertips reach up high. So you can start to bring the fingertips down onto the floor. You can simply rest your right arm on the right thigh if you prefer. Just really focus on opening up through the chest and lengthening the left side body as you reach up to the ceiling. Left fingertips come back to the floor. Right arm reaches up, straighten the right leg, toes point towards the long edge of the mat, and press down through the pinky toe. And one more time. Bend the right knee, rise up, point the toes to face the end of your mat. Right arm to the inside of the right leg. Maybe it reaches down towards the floor as the left fingertips reach high. Big breath here. And then just adding on, we're going to reach the left fingertips up overhead. Really creating a long line of energy from these left fingertips all the way down to your left knee. Feeling a stretch up your left side body here. And last time, bring the left fingertips to the floor. Reach up high. Toes point towards the long edge of the mat and open up through the chest. Bring the right hand back onto the mat as you pivot, returning to that three-legged tabletop. Lift the right foot up high, bend the knee, turn it towards the right side of the room and step forward to the top right corner of your mat. Heel toe the right foot through center, framing it with your hands coming into a low lunge. So you can have as much or as little bend in the back leg as you need, depending on how open you are through the hips. As long as the left knee is behind the hips and you're feeling a bit of a stretch into the front of your left thigh. Widen your stance as much as you need to support your balance. Think about drawing the inner thighs towards one another and the outer hips out, away from each other and back behind you. Belly button draws in towards the spine, lower ribs as well, as you stay open through the collarbones. Really staying active through those inner thigh muscles. Just resisting temptation to really sink down into the left hip here. It's not so much how low you get to the mat. We want to stay active through the inner thighs, the outer hips. Working on those stabilizer muscles, strengthening the balance. Walk the hands back towards your hips, coming up onto the right heel. Think about sending your tailbone down towards the left heel. You don't have to sit down onto your heel. It's just the direction that you're sending your tailbone. At the same time, the top of the head is being drawn away from that area. Long spine. You can always bring your hands up onto blocks to help maintain a straight spine. Walk your hands forward to frame your front foot, bending through the right knee. One more big breath here in your low lunge. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot, heel toe the right foot to the outer edge. Shift your hips back as you slide the right foot to meet the left. Land in your tabletop, a gentle sway from side to side. Find stillness in the tabletop. We'll move through the left side now. So reach the left foot back behind you. Tuck the toes as you lower them onto the mat. See if you can keep your hips square, so we're not lifting the left hip up, or we're not dipping it down. The hips are even. We're going to press down through the left heel. Looking for a stretch up the back of the left leg. Playing with the weight from big toe mound to pinky toe mound. Squeeze all of the muscles of the left leg in towards the bones. Shift your weight forward till the heel stacks over the toes. We're going to come into that modified side plank, so bring some weight into your right hand. You can bring it a little more centered if you like. Pivot the left toes to face the long edge of your mat towards the left. Lift your right foot up, pivot that behind you as well for a kickstand as you reach the left fingertips up high. Really pressing down through the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Staying open through the heart. The chest is in line with the long edge of the mat. As if there's a wall in front of you and you're pressing your entire front body into that. Keep sending the hips, the pelvis forward a little bit. Active through the glutes. We're going to start to bend through the left knee. Rise up. Turn the toes of the left foot to face the end of your mat. Left hand, left arm comes to the inside of the left thigh. Reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And just notice if the right hand is kind of coming back behind you or sinking down in front of you. That's a very dramatic version of it, obviously. But we want the right arm centered, reaching up towards the sky, away from the left fingertips. Moving back towards your side plank, windmill the arms up. Right hand comes to the mat, left fingertips reach up high. Turn the toes of the left foot towards the left side of the room, so the long edge of the mat as you press down, ground down through the pinky toe edge. Notice that the chest is starting to face the mat. Lift it up. Start to bend through the left knee. Rising up. Keep your belly button drawn and really support your core through those movements. Left arm to the inside of the left thigh, reach the right fingertips up high. Modified side angle. Returning to your side plank. Right arm finds the floor. Turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat as you press down through the pinky. Left fingertips reach high and the heart stays open. Last time, bend the left knee, rise up, toes point towards the end of the mat, left fingertips to the inside of the left leg, so you can stop with the arm lifted up or you can slide it down towards the floor or a block. Fingertips are reaching up high at first. And then overhead. So the right arm is in line with the right ear here, reaching beyond the crown of your head in the direction that the left knee is pointing. Really breathing space into your right side body. Come back through center, belly button draws in, support your low back. Right hands to the mat, left fingertips high. Pivot the toes to face the left side of the mat. One more big breath in the supported side plank. Left hand finds the floor. Pivot onto the toes, return to your three-legged tabletop. Turn the left toes to face the left side of the mat, bend through the knee. Step forward, top left corner of your mat. So just adjusting your stance however you need, and then heel toe the left foot through center. So we're back in that kind of low lunge position. The hips are even with one another. Without actually moving the left foot, think about drawing the left heel back towards the right knee. Those isometric static movements, just to activate the leg muscles. We want a nice flat back, so just notice if you're coming into a cat-like back or a cow-like back with a scoopy tail. Sometimes we sink down really low into the hips here and start to get a little ski jump of the bum. So just making sure you're active through the inner thighs. Think about drawing the front of the right thigh muscle up into the thigh bone. From here, walk your hands back towards your hips, coming up onto the heel of the left. And we want a nice straight back here, so using blocks if you need. To find some height. Draw the tailbone away from the top of the head away from the tailbone as you fold forward. Think about drawing the right hip towards the right heel instead of the left. Start to bend through the left knee, walk the hands forward. One more big breath here in your low lunge. Left hand comes to the inside of the foot. Heel toe, your left foot to the outer edge, and then shift your hips back, slide the left leg to meet the right. And a gentle sway from side to side in your tabletop. Just releasing any tension that may have developed to the hips or the thighs. And we'll come to land on our backs. Starting with the knees bent. Reach the right foot up towards the ceiling. You can take hold of the back of the right thigh. Maybe take a few gentle rotations through the right ankle, pointing and flexing the toes. Rotating in the opposite direction. Find stillness with a flexed ankles, toes drawn towards your face. Bend the right knee. Let the pinky toe edge land on the right thigh. Creating a figure 4 shape with your legs, start to send the right knee away from your shoulders. Equal weight in both left and right hip. And if you're not feeling a stretch into the right hip, right thigh, start to draw the left knee in towards the left shoulder, taking hold of the back of the left thigh, or maybe even the left shin. As the left knee draws in, the right knee continues to reach away from the shoulders, finding those opposing forces. Slowly lower the left foot onto the mat if it's lifted. Keep the right foot just as it is. Extend your arms out wide at your sides. And start to slowly tip the knees in that figure 4 shape over to the right side of the room. The left foot will slide slightly to the left. And think about sending the tailbone forward, so kind of up and over to the right. Gaze can be centered or over to the left. You can use the right heel on the left leg for a bit of added weight if you like. Never being forceful though. Let the gaze come back through center. The knees will follow. Bring the sole of the right foot onto the floor and just a gentle sway from side to side. Find stillness in the center. We're going to go through the left side, so reach the left foot up towards the ceiling, interlace behind the thigh. Just take those gentle rotations through the ankle, inviting some movement into the joint, getting any creaks or cracks out of there. Rotating through the opposite direction. And then with the toes drawn towards your face, start to send the toes towards the left. Bend the left knee, let the pinky toe edge of the left foot land on the right thigh. Left knee sent away from the shoulders. If you're feeling a stretch there, that's perfect. Stay just as you are. Or you can start to draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. And as every inch that the right knee draws in, the left knee should also reach away. So we're not just pulling the right knee into the shoulder for the sake of pulling it in. We want the left knee to continue to reach away from the shoulders, moving in opposite directions. Keep a deep flex in the left ankle by drawing the toes of the left foot towards the left shin. Really squeezing the pinky toe edge of the left foot into the right thigh and the right thigh into the pinky toe edge. Lower the right foot slowly onto the mat. Keep the left foot just as it is. You can even start to heel toe the right foot over slightly to the right. And then let the knees find their way over to the left, bringing the inner thigh of the right leg towards the mat and the outer edge of the left. Think about really pressing down through the right knee as you send your tailbone up and over to the left. Arms extend out wide at your sides, and the gaze can be at the ceiling or over to the right. Bring your gaze back through center. Let the knees follow. Release the left foot onto the mat. And take the feet nice and wide. Maybe lift your hips, give them a sway from side to side, and lower them down into your neutral position. The feet mat distance apart, the knees are wide as well. Start to tip the knees into touch. And let the knees support one another as you release your low back into the mat. Bring your arms at your sides, let the palms face up, and tuck the shoulder blades beneath you, finding a sense of openness through the chest and collarbones. Create length in your neck by gently tucking your chin in slightly. Let the head grow heavy. This position here with the knees bent supporting one another is a great alternative to Shavasana if you have low back sensitivities or hip issues that make it uncomfortable to lie on your back. Creating a bit of a bend in the knees and letting them support one another. Just create some space through the low back. Can make it a little more restful. Start to send your breath into that low back area, just noticing how the points of contact between the back and the floor change with every breath. Each breath in, creating space in the low back, compressing it into the mat. Each breath out, releasing any tension that may have developed there through your practice. Or any tension from your day or your week that may still be lingering in that area. Stay here just as you are. If this is a comfortable resting pose, Or without losing the stillness in your upper body, start to send the legs long to the bottom corners of your mat, finding your final Shavasana, your final resting pose. Let the legs grow heavy on the mat as you release to the ankles and send the toes out to the sides. The eyes can stay opened or you can close them. Allowing your focus to turn to the breath without changing its rhythm or its rate, just witness it moving through your body. Natural rise and fall of tissues with every breath. Body grows heavier and heavier with each breath in. Melting into the mat, taking with it any last remaining tension or stress in your body. You can stay here on your mat and on your back for as long as you choose to allow yourself to. Just welcoming the stillness, a sense of calm as it moves through your body. When you do feel it's time to get up and go on with the rest of your day, do so slowly and mindfully. Maybe offering yourself 2 or 3 more breaths here in stillness before going on with your day. With such gratitude for you joining me in practice today and always. Namaste.